Alright, so here's my Sony a6000, and the first thing we want to do is make sure that the camera is in manual mode, because some of these settings may not change depending on what mode is selected. Now we turn it on, and we go right into the menus. The first setting I always change is to make sure that the image quality is set to the maximum available. So here we have 24 megapixels and image size L for large. Then I go down to the image quality tab and I make sure that RAW and JPEG is selected. This way I have all my RAW files to fully edit, and I also have JPEG backups if I want to just make quick transfers online. Now this next setting is another one that I always turn off whenever I get a new camera. You can see this one called AF Illuminator. When you buy the camera, it automatically is on auto. And the AF Illuminator is that orange light at the front of the camera that lights up when it's trying to acquire focus. Now this may help you in extremely dark environments where it can briefly light up your subject, but generally when you're out shooting, it's just really distracting. I've always turned it off and I've never noticed any degradation in my autofocus. Alright, so this next setting is in the second tab on the top here, and you can find one called grid line. So what this is when you're shooting, on your screen you can see no grid lines. But when you enable it, for example, if you choose rule of thirds, you are then presented with this grid. Now this isn't going to show up in your photos. It's only for you when you're trying to take a shot. It can help you compose your shot better. There are also a few other options like square grid, which will give you even more lines, and diagonal, where it will give you a cross section of where the center point is. Of course, this is all personal preference, but I just like to leave it on rule of thirds because I think it gives you the cleanest layout while not being distracting on the screen. Now this next setting is another one that I find really distracting and just totally unnecessary. If you go all the way to the right in this little briefcase tab and you go down to audio signals is just that beep that you hear when it acquires focus. So just as an example, this is what it sounds like. So similarly to the autofocus light, I turn this off because I don't want to be constantly hearing that beep, and everyone else can also hear it, which is really distracting. Now this next setting that I changed is right under grid line, which is auto review. This is when you take a shot, it will show you the image you took right after. I generally turn this off because I don't want to see my image, because usually I'm trying to capture another shot right after I take an image. Alright, so if I put it on 2 seconds, for example, and I go and take a photo of this lens, it will automatically show the image on the screen. So if I turn it off and I take a photo, then I can just continue shooting and it won't pop up on the screen.